Back in the days when Knight Rider was filming, the vehicular stars of the show were quite busy with their day jobs, as it were, leaving them to mostly appear exclusively in the show. Now, times were tough in the 80s, however, and because of that, some of our famous star vehicles from the show had to take other jobs to make ends meet. Now, to be clear, we aren't talking about Julian Grove's 1982 AMC Eagle from Nobody Does It Better showing up in an episode of ALF. We're focusing solely on the major vehicles from the show. KITT, the Semi, Goliath, you get it. So with that said, let's break down some of the Knight Rider screen-used vehicles that were used in other productions in chronological order. September 1983, the NBC All-Star Hour. This NBC special featured a who's who list of network stars and was broadcast to drum up excitement for the fall 1983 NBC television lineup. In this special, KITT delivers series stars David Hasselhoff, Edward Mulhare, and Rebecca Holden to the event. When Edward asks if they are late, David chimes in and says they got lost on the freeway. KITT, voiced by William Daniels, then comments that this is what happens when David drives instead of KITT. They used one of the train derailment stunt cars to film this scene, believe it or not. Promo shots even show the round stunt wheel. Let's take a look at an original clip.
Ladies and gentlemen, the star of Knight Rider, David Hasselhoff.
Thank you. And welcome to the NBC All-Star Hour. Hey, KITT, believe all these stars in one room? We're here tonight to celebrate the beginning of a great new season on NBC. We have a fantastic menu planned for you tonight. We're having CBS for dinner and ABC for dessert. Fantasy Island, it's time to face reality. 60 minutes, your time is up.
David Hasselhoff, the Knight Rider. Oh, hi there. Rebecca, how beautiful.
Thank you.
Can we get you to come around?
Late, are we?
Oh, not at all, not at all. You're not late at all.
We got lost on the freeway.
That's what happens, Mr. Archer, when he insists on driving me himself.
Guess who said that? Come on in for the party. Come on.
January 28th, 1984. Airwolf, Daddy's Gone A-Hunting episode. We debated about including this one in our list. In Airwolf's first regular episode after its pilot, Stringfellow Hawk and Dominic Santini must stop a suspected traitor from turning an advanced military fighter over to the Russians in exchange for his son. The climax features Airwolf taking on the Russians in their mobile command center. Take a close look and you'll see that this command center is actually Goliath's trailer. February 11th and 18th of 1984, Different Strokes, Hooray for Hollywood. In February of 1984, one of the greatest crossover events in television history occurred. You know what I'm talking about. The Knight Rider meets the Different Strokes. Michael Knight meets Arnold Jackson. KITT meets Dudley. And a fantastic meme was born. During season 6 of Different Strokes, the Drummond/Jackson family set out on a vacation in Hollywood. Young Arnold Jackson, played by Gary Coleman, and his friend Dudley made it their goal to meet the Knight Rider and get his autograph. They sneak away from the Universal Studios tram tour and make their way to the back lot of the studio where Knight Rider is filming on a closed set. Arnold and Dudley sneak past the security guard and hide in a police car on the set, hoping to get in on the action. Little did they know the action was blowing up the very car that the two boys were hiding in. Fortunately, David saw Arnold and Dudley hiding and called off the explosion, saving their lives. David gives his autograph and poses with them and Kit, and everyone has a happy ending. Don't you just love 1980s sitcoms? The episode, called Hooray for Hollywood, was a two-parter, with the first half airing on February 11th, 1984, and the conclusion on February 18th, 1984, with the cliffhanger leaving viewers to wonder if young Arnold would meet his demise in the police car. It aired during Knight Rider's second season, and would have been filmed right around the time that Speed Demons and Goliath Returns were being filmed. They only used one kit car for this segment, the Season 2 Hero car. Because Diff'rent Strokes was watched by children, many of whom also watched Knight Rider, and because the storyline necessitated the need to see the making of the show, the episode had to be crafted in such a way where David Hasselhoff was playing himself, but Kit really was a real talking car. You'll note that Hasselhoff is called David and not Michael, but you'll also notice that Kit is talking to David between takes. This was to ensure that the illusion of a talking car was maintained, even when Knight Rider's cameras weren't rolling. This episode of Knight Rider that's being filmed in this episode of Diff'rent Strokes was never actually a real Knight Rider episode. A couple of other points. By the second season of Knight Rider, they had stopped referring to Kit as a Pontiac or a Trans Am, and that was at Pontiac's request. However, in this Diff'rent Strokes episode, after Kit makes a witty comment, David says, "Nobody likes a smart Trans Am." Another thing to note, Kit is portrayed as a snooty movie star, something even more unsettling because William Daniels did not voice the car. At one point when David, Arnold, and Dudley are posing for a photo in front of Kit, Kit gruffly says, "Don't touch me, I'm a star." Incidentally, the shots of Kit's voice modulator are recycled from Season 2 Knight Rider episodes. Arnold also has a chance to utter an alternate version of his famous catchphrase, this time saying, "What you talking about, Knight Rider?" Yes, Knight Rider, what are you talking about indeed? July 1984, the Jacksons' Victory Tour. In the spring of 1984, the Jacksons were preparing to embark on a 55-concert tour, and a photo shoot took place for their tour book. Photographer Harrison Funk did the shoot on a beautiful morning in May of 1984 at Carrillo Beach in Malibu. In this shoot, the Jackson brothers are each seen with a sports car, and curiously, Michael Jackson is paired with a screen-used Knight Rider car. Not just any kit though, but the hardtop stunt car used extensively throughout the show's run. So how did this car end up at this shoot? Well, we spoke with Harrison way back in 2014, and while he couldn't remember specifically where Knight Rider came from, he said all the other cars came from the Classic Motors in Beverly Hills. If I had to take a guess, I'd say Michael was probably a fan of the series, and with his clout and influence, his agent probably made a call to Universal and arranged to have the car for the day. September 1984, Laughbusters. Another NBC-produced promotional special. This one was designed to get kids excited about the fall 1984 Saturday morning cartoon lineup. In this special, Danny Cooksey is recruited by Tom Bray, the Boz in Riptide, to save Spider-Man, who is stuck on an industrial-sized piece of flypaper. I don't think I could make this up if I tried. Danny is only 8 and can't drive, so Tom arranges for Kit to pick him up. The car that is used here is the right-hand blind drive car. What's interesting is that technically, this is viewers' first look at the right-hand blind drive car, as it wouldn't make its debut in Knight Rider until the third season episode The Ice Bandits, which didn't air until October 7th of 1984. This segment also uses some footage from Knight Rider's second season, specifically from the episode A Knight in Shining Armor.
Watch the paint, Daniel. I've just been waxed. In all candor, Danny, I prefer you refer to your current role in this vehicle as passenger.
That's okay with me, Kit. Any sign of Spider-Man yet?
My scanners indicate the target is within 1 mile. Any suggestions, Danny?
Let's help!
Now that's what I call a sticky situation.
Whom am I to thank for this daring rescue?
Let's just say you're not without friends, Spider-Man.
Kit, full turbo if you please.
January 22nd, 1985. Street Hawk, the episode called Vegas Run. Street Hawk had an unfairly short run, with only 13 episodes being produced. The 4th episode, titled Vegas Run, features a blink-and-you'll-miss-it cameo by a famous Knight Rider vehicle. After Jesse successfully protects a Las Vegas showgirl from the mob, he is seen leaving on Street Hawk and rounding a bend. If you look in the background, you can spot the back end of the Knight Rider semi-trailer. This scene was filmed on the Universal Studios backlot, so it makes sense that the Flag Mobile Command Center would be there. And while we're talking about Street Hawk, Jesse's ride, a yellow Mustang, is the same car used for Dorothy Ackridge's solar vehicle in Give Me Liberty or Give Me Death. How cool is that? January 24th, 1985. Half Nelson. We talked about Half Nelson before on this channel, but for those of you not familiar, Half Nelson was another short-lived series starring Joe Pesci that lasted only 9 episodes. It was created by Glenn A. Larson, with music by Stu Phillips. Larson also produced and co-wrote the pilot. The synopsis of the series is this. Rocky Nelson is a former New York City cop who moved to Beverly Hills, where he got a job at a private security service for the rich and famous, while attempting to make it as an actor. In addition to guarding celebrities, he also helps solve crimes. In the pilot, Rocky borrows various star car vehicles for use in his work, to include the Fall Guys truck and, yes, Kit. Just like in the Jackson's Victory Tour, the hardtop stunt car is used again in this appearance. Interior shots, however, were a stock Trans Am and were not in any way related to Knight Rider.
Gee, Rocky, look at all these switches and buttons and everything.
Don't touch anything.
Do you think it can really talk?
The last thing I need is to listen to 2 inanimate objects. I'm just kidding.
About what?
Nothing.
There is no one in the world that can get anywhere near us.
Don't worry, it'll park itself.
February 18th, 1985, the Disneyland 30th Anniversary Special. In this NBC special celebrating 30 years of Disney's amusement park, Kit delivers David to the stage where he performs a song. William Daniels even provides the voice of Kit once again. We don't see much of Kit, but evidence suggests that this is the Season 3-4 hero car that is used for this segment. Take a look.
All right, David, I got you here in Tomorrowland on time. Now, knock 'em dead.
October 12th, 1985, Airwolf, and A Child Shall Lead. The 3rd episode of Airwolf's 3rd season features an aircraft designer that is kidnapped by foreign agents. In that daring act, an ice cream truck is used for the getaway vehicle, and that truck is then loaded into the back of a trailer. Take a close look and you'll see that trailer is actually the Flag Semi, with the chess piece emblem covered up and a moving company graphics added. In order to make the truck fit inside, the production had to remove the drop ceiling from the trailer. You can even see some of the brackets hanging from the ceiling. December 8th, 1985, Amazing Stories. Steven Spielberg's anthology series only lasted 2 seasons on NBC, and its first season featured an episode called Remote Control Man, where an unhappy husband named Walter finds out that his new TV can bring fictional characters to life. Numerous NBC stars at the time make cameos, to include Dirk Benedict from the A-Team, The Incredible Hulk, and Gary Coleman from Different Strokes. Kit crashes through Walter's living room wall asking if anyone has seen Michael. William Daniels does not reprise his role as Kit's voice, but the car is screen used. While we only see the front half, we are reasonably certain that this is actually one of the T-top stunt cars used heavily in Season 3 and 4, another train derailment vehicle. 1988, Beyond Behind the Scenes. In 1988, Universal Studios released a VHS cassette showcasing some of behind-the-scenes secrets of the studio. During the picture car section of the video, we see transportation director Jesse Sperry talking about some of the cars, to include Kit. By 1988, there was only one screen-used Kit car still left at the studio, and it was being used, along with a non-screen-used replica, at the studio's theme park. This is actually a hardtop stunt car, a different one than the one we've mentioned previously in this video. Believe it or not, this is actually one of the 2 cars that we currently own today.
Of course, there are other things in this picture that add to our understanding that we're watching a scene from a particular time. If these cars look pretty as a picture, it's no wonder. They're picture cars, the term that describes any car featured in a moving picture. Like everything else in the world of screen entertainment, picture cars require all kinds of planning and attention. They have to be from the right era, of course, and in the right condition.
For cars that are really non-existent, sometimes we have to go out and create a vehicle that doesn't currently exist, such as this one that was used in Back to the Future with Michael J. Fox. It was originally a DeLorean that's had quite a bit of modification, as you can see. The car is actually a running vehicle that's still drivable, even though it may not be street legal.
Jesse Sperry helps make sure all the picture cars at Universal look just the way you'd expect them to. Or not expect them to in some instances.
April 2018, Jay Leno's Garage. And finally, well, this counts as well, since it was broadcast on national television. In 2018, we lent one of our screen-used cars to Jay Leno to film an episode of Jay Leno's Garage with pro golfer Bubba Watson. It was the first time that our car had been back in Burbank in over a decade. Well, that's all we've got. Did we miss any appearances of either an original Kit or the Semi or even Goliath for that matter in other shows? Clue us in below in the comments. As always, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.
And now, while we listen to Joe's selection of Knight Rider music that we received directly from Don Peake himself, we'd like to thank these Patreon supporters. Look at you guys scrolling up the screen to my right. Wait a minute, how can you tell which side is my right, since you can't see me because I'm not on camera? Oh well, you know what I mean. We're featuring these fine supporters at our Knight Rider Prop Restorer level. Thank you very much for your support. And for those of you at the Knight Rider History Hunter level, we're recognizing you right now in the description. Now, if you enjoyed seeing this golden nugget of Knight Rider history being rescued from obscurity, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support would empower us to bring you even more of these historical nuggets. We are the Knight Rider Historians. Till next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.